Our next round of candidates in just a few minutes, but as we give them some time downstairs to set up, I'm joined by Don Carrigan and Professor of Political Science at the University of Southern Maine, Ron Schmidt.
Nice. He's the professor.
Yes, yes. So thank you guys for being here. We're obviously here to provide a little analysis on what we've just been watching here. We've seen all four of these candidates before, but were things a little different tonight? Did things stand out?
Ron?
I definitely thought so. I mean, I think Dr. Shah is definitely sort of coming at this with a lot more visible anger in reaction, I think, to the killing of Mr. Guerrero, but also to sort of redefine his campaign as he shifts tracks. I think Bellows and Troy Jackson both looked familiar to anybody who paid attention to the last primary, but I think they're ready to sort of shift the focus of their debate to something that fits the Senate more. And I think Jordan Wood is still working on introducing himself to Mainers.
I agree with your take on the whole thing. What strikes me, and has really for the last week, however long we've been in this, is that it seemed that Nirav Shah was ready from the very get-go to launch a Senate campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, it was boom,
He had
boom,
the
boom, boom,
emotion
issue,
yeah.
and we think of him as kind of the mild-mannered CDC guy,
Yeah.
but he was the attack dog tonight,
Yes.
and that really struck me.
Yeah. And then you have to think about what they're doing. They're talking to all Mainers because that's important, but their core audience really is other Democrats, because the Democrats are picking a candidate here, and they're really talking to the people most likely to be delegates at the convention. So they're talking to people who know them and who know their policies. And what they really need to do is make it clear to those people that they're willing to fight against Senator Collins and for the issues that the Democrats care about.
So go ahead. No, you go ahead.
The other thing is I've been trying to listen for who is making the strongest effort to try to lay claim to the mantle of Graham Plattner.
Indeed.
And obviously Troy Jackson was already kind of partway there in his campaign for governor, so he's certainly said that. I don't know if most Democrats are looking for somebody who's most like Plattner. I don't know.
I don't either. When it comes to charisma, Plattner had a lot of advantages. You know, he was going to, I think, maybe mobilize people who aren't likely to show up to vote on a year when there's nobody running for president. And I don't think any of those people that we saw just now have that card to play. And I think they know it. So they're really playing to their strengths. They know these issues. They've been fighting for these issues for a long time. They want to communicate to their fellow Democrats and their fellow Mainers that they can get in there without a lot of drama and deal with what needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, and they've only got from now 7, 8, 9 days in order to sell the deal and be the person who gets chosen.
It's not enviable. Yeah.
And then from there, once they are on the ballot, they really have not a lot of time here to make a case against.
Someone tonight mentioned fewer than 100 days.
Yeah. Right.
So the other thing that struck me is at least two of the candidates, and maybe all of them one time or another, talking about the Biddeford ICE shooting, used the word murder. And I know that some of the protesters have used that, and clearly no law enforcement entity, nobody investigating it, has used the term murder. We haven't, but it's interesting that they all chose to use, or at least several of them, maybe all chose to use that word.
Yeah. I think, and again, thinking about Plattner, they're assuming, probably correctly, that Democrats right now want to hear direct language that suggests that they're gonna call things as they see them and not be too careful, not tiptoe around.
Well, you mentioned that, Ron, that right now they're obviously speaking to the Democrats because of the convention that's coming up. Do you think any of this tone will change a little more once one name is on the ballot and now they have to appeal to those independent voters as well?
It might. We might hear more talk about policy. I don't think we'll see different Troy Jacksons or different Schmidt Bellows or what have you come the general election, but some of their emphases will probably be different. And they certainly all have a lot of very specific policy things they want to achieve, and that's a way they could talk to try to appeal to
all
independence.
Pretty similar.
Oh yeah, yes. But they come with their own sort of, you might say, specialties.
Yeah. But there's certainly the liberal Democrat playbook, right, of issues in there. Medicare for all, or some version of that, various other things, and a couple of them saying get rid of ICE. One would assume you have to replace it with something, but because we've always had some sort of law enforcement to deal with immigration, so I assume something would have to go in there.
Well, and a few of them did say we would have to come up with another form of department, but I believe it was Nirav Shah who had said it's rotten to its core, and so it needs to be abolished, and let's start all.
And obviously that's going to resonate with the base in the party, and certainly the progressive base. So obviously finds a lot of appeal there. Certainly find plenty of pushback, I suppose, when you get to the general election.
Well, although I haven't seen a lot of data since the killing, but I have to assume too that there's a lot of Mainers right now who are more open to that argument than there might have been 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
That's probably true.
What did you guys think of the question of what would you do to work across the aisle? Do you think they handled that well?
Yeah. I mean, I think that we have this tendency to talk about bipartisan compromise like it automatically means you're going to sing Kumbaya and hold hands. And it's not utopian. It's their job. At the end of the day, they have to produce legislation. And that requires working with people who you disagree with about a lot of things, even in your own party.
All right. They're ready for round 2 down there.
Okay.
We'll send it back down to Rob and Phil.